Okay, continuing with the NRL series of videos, we get on to my favourite team in the NRL, team that I like, the Canberra Raiders. Now, last year they finished 10th. Now, they did underperform slightly. This is going to be a very interesting video of mine. Now, they've got Jarrod Croker, Jack Whiten, Rapana, Blake Austin, Aiden Seas, all these big, great, talented, youngish players. Jarrod Croker is just a beast. For his age, the amount of points and goals he has kicked, the amount of tries he has scored, he is an absolute... How he's not getting selected for New South Wales, I will never know. New South Wales selection policy, the New South Wales Blues, they need to look at this player. Now, they've got to try and stay cap compliant. Now, this is where it gets really sticky in one particular position. There's been a few minor changes to the squad, but basically, the core is the same. It all comes down to the hooker position. Now, in the World Cup, Kurt Baptiste and Josh Hodgson were playing for Papua New Guinea and England, respectively. It was a rumour that Kurt Baptiste was leaving, and he was going back to the Super League. Adam Clydesdale, their other hooker, who went to Cronulla for a brief period, came back. Hodgson got injured. He's done his knee and he's out for a lengthy period of time. Kurt Baptiste has been released. It seems he's been released now, which basically means they're relying on Adam Clydesdale to basically be their starting hooker. And this is a key position, and there's been a big hoo-ha about this the last couple of weeks. And they have to try and get underneath the cap because they got all their contracts signed really early. And they were assuming the cap was going to be about $1 million higher. In the end, it's about 9.6, something like that. They were expecting it to be over 10. So they're like about £400,000, well, dollars, sorry, 400,000 Australian dollars over the cap before all this happened. So they've had to release Kurt Baptiste is the biggest player they've had to let go, basically. All the other squad changes are very minor. This is what buggers them, basically. They're one of several clubs who got their business done early, believing that the cap was going to be at a higher level, which it wasn't. The NRL then came up with a revised cap, and it's all gone a bit wrong. So, the injury to Josh Hodgson is crucial because Clydesdale doesn't have much experience, and Kurt Baptiste is now being obviously released now, but at the time he wasn't when the information was published, because I've had to go back a month. And a month ago, Kurt Baptiste, his future was still in the air. Now it is known that he has been released and he is going back to Super League. With Clydesdale coming in, he's obviously commanding less wage than Baptiste, and Baptiste going does actually possibly get them underneath the cap, or help with that. They might have to offload one more player. They've done, as I said in the video about Canterbury, they have done a swap on the wing between Clay Priest. He's gone over to Canterbury. They've got a young player back who's barely played any NRL games, so will barely command any wage. They've kept the core together, which is important. Whiten, Croker, Austin, Caesar, that is a core. The issue is going to be at hooker. Simple. Ricky Stewart is also a great coach as well. He's very hands-on coaching. Most coaches will sit up in the box. And in Canberra it gets quite cold in winter. It's not always the warmest place to play rugby league in Australia. And he'll be down on the touchline, urging his players on. He will. He's brilliant at that. So it'll be interesting to see how, with that key injury to Hodgson and with Clydesdale, a very young, inexperienced hooker coming in, how they perform this coming season. They did underperform slightly. They had a sticky patch. They couldn't win. And it's not for lack of scoring tries, it's for defensively they had a few porous bits. So certain players need to step up. They have got some big name players, Whitehead, Papali, Junior Paulo. They have got some beastie players. Shannon Boyd. They need to step up and go, right, where did we go wrong? Do they give away too many penalties? They miss too many tackles? Was there too much drop ball? They have to go, right, where did we go wrong? But with Jarrod Croker, I mean, he's a goal-kicking machine, he's a try machine, and yes, he did dislocate his kneecap last season early on, which would have harmed them as well, but he's a machine. How he's not been selected for New South Wales is beggars belief. I don't understand why the New South Wales Blues have a persistence in selecting players who keep failing at origin level. But that's just me. I'm being a bit bitter, possibly. But yeah, that's my take on the Canberra Raiders. I think they are looking good going forward. The question I have, they finished 10th last year. they should get finals footy. The year before they think got to the semi-finals, so I do not understand the big drop-off. But I can, I can't. The league is exceptionally competitive. It was a bit of a disappointing season. They just went on too many long runs where they got into sticky patches and they just did not get the wins they could have got. But with the team they've got, it's still young and exciting. It's just that hooker position with Josh Hodgson out and Kurt Baptiste on his way and Clydesdale, the player, coming in. But is Kurt Baptiste on his way? Are they sticking with the three hookers? Now, this is the thing. Hodgson's going to be out for a lengthy period. It might even have to be surgery and season. So it's going to be interesting to see how they work out that hooker issue. He might still... He's been given grant release to look at, be put on open market. As far as I'm aware, he's still a Canberra Raider at this time. But whether he's there at the start of the season, they've got to get cap compliant quick, so they might have to offload one or two very key pieces, which they don't want to, but they're going to have to because the NRL screwed up the cap. But there you go. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I shall have some more videos for you soon. The next team up, I believe, is the Dragons. They're an interesting bunch at the moment. They've got some key movement players and some key players moving around, so that's going to be interesting. Thank you very much for watching. I'll have some more videos for you soon.